Yeah, cheers. It takes still pictures as well as video.
That's it, smile as well.
Hey! These are all for me, by the way.
First time? You're going to take two. Hello!
I didn't realise we were up here. We could get to the floor. Yeah!
Put on it.
Bring
that side.
Oh, good. Okay.
Who's this? Who's this?
It's busy paying attention, it's the camera.
We'll have a good day today.
Yeah?
And you're hiding?
We saw it outside.
Take some clearing that. Just say yes and I'll go away.
No. I can stand it all
Whatever
day.
you do, don't look at me. Don't look at the camera, ever. There you go. Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this in Oldham. Brilliant. This is a mascot today, Peter.
I believe so, yeah. You're
He's just telling me about his life in New Zealand.
all right, great stuff.
Very interesting life.
Very rude.
Just John text, didn't you?
Always done.
Yeah, champ. You okay? Good lad. You're not camera shy, are you?
Cheers, Oldham.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Right, give us a flash.
That really.
Hey!
What did you zoom in for?
Hi Chris, an exciting day for Oldham today. I think this season more than any other season, because at the start of the season we were virtually dead and buried, and you've had a tremendous season.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of people wrote us off even before a ball had been kicked. But anybody that knows me and knows the club, you know, that's the best motivation that anybody can give to me. And I think, you know, as the season's gone on and the momentum's gathered, you know, everybody's got behind it, you know, has realised that there is something positive happening here, and it's been fantastic.
Brilliant. I think I should also mention a unique band of people, that's the people of Oldham, who have supported you tremendously this year, come out in numbers, and hopefully we'll be there in numbers today to cheer you to victory.
Yeah, we've had great support all year, and obviously, you know, even I was beginning to doubt that we'd ever be able to provide them with a ground of our own, which we have, and you know, that, regardless of what happens today, is the biggest achievement, not only this year for the club, but in the new club's history, and people have obviously got behind that. The atmosphere at the ground, you know, on home days has been fantastic, and we've had lots of people coming down volunteering to do work as well, and it's really put some soul back into the club, which only, you know, having your own ground can do. And it's been fantastic, and you know, we're hoping that we can obviously cap it off today with one more victory.
Super. I think finally you've had a tremendous amount of support from sponsors as well who've got behind you, and I think you would like to give a thanks to them as well.
Absolutely. You know, so many components to make a successful or a flourishing rugby league club. It's not just about what happens on the pitch, although obviously that is very important, but you know, whether it be the players, whether it be the coaches, whether it be the staff, who always perform above and beyond what you would expect of any normal member of staff, whether it be the fans like we've mentioned before, whether it be the sponsors, who again, you know, are a unique kind of sponsor. You know, we've got people that have come on board this year that have had, up to coming on board, no interest in rugby league. But they're here today, you know, they've backed the club, they've got into it, and that again is all borne out not only of the fact that hopefully they see value for money in terms of what they're doing with the club, but also they can see what the club's about, the people that are involved in it, and what it means to everybody, and the way that, you know, we go out of our way to make sure that they feel welcome and part of what's happening as well. So hopefully, as I say, you know, fingers crossed, God willing, we can cap it off this afternoon.
I'm sure you will, Chris. Finally, I think you've got to say something about the players, because at the start of the season I think you had about 2 or 3 players, and you've managed to get the squad together and the coach has brought this success, and the reserve side as well that did well.
Yeah, John Huff with the reserves has put an awful lot of work in. You know, he did as long a pre-season as what the first team did, and I take my hat off not only to John for doing that, but also to the reserve team players who, you know, don't get paid an awful lot of money, but who bought into what we were trying to do in terms of, you know, the difference that it means to what they get out of the season by what they put in pre-season. Showed enormous commitment, and I think, you know, got the just rewards, not only by, you know, getting to the playoffs, but, you know, playing some fantastic rugby throughout the year. And again, you know, the crowds were great when we were playing here at the, you know, at White Bank in front of, you know, 200 or so, which is good for them. But the players in terms of the first team, again, have performed above and beyond. It surprised me actually, because sometimes you're probably getting a little bit of a cocoon, and you think, well, everybody must think the same way as you do, Chris. But even like just talking to the players at the end of the season, you know, they were saying like, oh, we didn't think we'd do as well as we had. And I'm thinking, it really must have just been you, Chris, that thought we were going to do well. And that's, you know, that is because we sort of had confidence in Tony, and, you know, I'd like to think that, you know, I got reasonable contacts within the game and what have you, and know what we're looking for. And as much as anything at Oldham, we look for the right characters as well. And I know, you know, we always stress that to the players, because we don't want Herberts, we don't want idiots. The job's hard enough as it is. But we stress that to the players, and we treat them the right way. And I think, you know, that word character, in terms of getting the right characters in at the club, has been 100% borne out this year, because there's been games, including the York game in the semi-final, where character was the deciding factor.
Brilliant. And finally, Chris, I think we've got to say a big thanks to you. I've known you for quite a few years, since you got involved with Oldham, and you've had some bad days. I think it's just your inner strength and pride to take this club forward, and I wish you every success today.
Thanks, John. I appreciate that. It has been tough, and it is still tough. You know, we're not out of the woods, and, you know, we've still got debts to pay off, but I think we're in a strong position going forward. That's the key thing. Hopefully we can cap it off today. You know, because having come this far, we don't want to fall at the last hurdle again, because it is such an awful feeling. But I think we've got the personnel to do it, and hopefully, you know, if luck, or if sort of, you know, principles or anything at all has anything to do with it today, then I think we will get the win.
Well done, Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, Rachel, it's a special day for you, commercial manager of the Oldham Roughheads, and I know you've put a lot of hard work in this season. What are the highlights to you?
The highlights, definitely getting the ground. Getting the ground has been, you know, being a part of that has been something that I'll remember for a very long time. You know, maybe when I'm back in New Zealand, I'll get to look back at where Oldham is and however many years it might be, and say that I was, you know, a part of a really momentous occasion. It's been very easy for me at the same time too, because, you know, it's such a fantastic story that's going on with Oldham Rugby at the moment. It's in a really transition period. You know, it's like someone, actually it was one of the sponsors once said, we're a bit like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. And I think, you know, being a part of today, being in the grand final, is just a cherry on the top, really. So lots of highlights, but definitely getting the ground and being here today.
Yep. Well, I'm sure you've done a lot of hard work in supporting Chris and his team, and you're getting your rewards today.
Yes.
You're going back to New Zealand, are you?
No, it's not planned. Nothing. It's we'll see how it goes. Nothing in the,
right.
You know, nothing.
Certainly
in the
a memory today that you'll take with you forever.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah,
final
definitely.
part of a season that you've had so much influence on.
It's a story I'll tell. Yeah, definitely when I get back home, whenever that may be. Yeah.
Okay, Rachel. Well, we wish you every success today, and
Great.
happy return tonight.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I suppose I should thank the sponsors as well, because we've had if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be at this point. Be it the people that have donated, bits to the ground, or people that have, sponsored the kit, sponsored different areas of the ground. If it wasn't for them getting behind us and believing Chris and I, when we were out at the beginning of the season, when we didn't have a ground to, we didn't have a home, and people believing in the club, and this is really for them today. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
So who's this young lady?
Yes.
Mrs. Pilkington, Joyce.
Joyce Pilkington. How do you know John?
When he were up at Sheddings, coaching
In the early 90s.
in the early 90s.
I coached the A-team, and we could get 2,000-3,000 people from Oldham watching the A-team, Peter.
It was great.
And I know those days are coming back again. And it's through people like Joyce, who support people like Chris, that those days are
Selling
beginning to
soup and pies on a cold night.
happen.